So today's topic is consumer-centric strategy rather than revenue-centric strategy. And just the underlying idea of this is basically looking at our products as a company, looking at our products from outside in. That's the idea. It's about looking at the consumer, the way the consumer would look at our products, irrelevant of what we've got right now, and not through the lens of our current product offering. So the way I'm going to address this topic is by touching on two things. Number one is, how are people consuming media? What are the trends, both from a behavioral standpoint and from a trend standpoint in general? I mean, what are the players, who are the new power brokers and things like that? The other thing is I'm going to address the response from the business towards these behaviors and maybe little seeds of ideas of what we can do to kind of piggyback on these trends. So the first thing I want to talk about is content is free. Well, it's not free right now, but it eventually will be. And that's because of the trends that we're seeing in many different industries. And I'm going to actually focus on this a little bit. Music industry. The music industry has been changing. Everyone knows that. CDs are well on the decline. And before, for you to be a #1 hit with a CD, you'd have to sell 15 million. Now, the #1 hit only reaches 3.5 million. That was Eminem's album last year. And it will soon become, in 5 years, a digital-only platform. Now, that's known. And the cloud, as has been introduced yesterday, I don't know if anyone looked at that, is going to hold all this digital data, hold all this digital music. So now the home is the cloud. But also, you've got to think about one thing. If all of it is digital, so all of it is being downloaded. But there's another statistic here that's frightening. Only 5% of that is paid for.
Mobile has become a part of people's lives. So I want you to take one question with you when I'm done. 7 words: am I making money from mobile advertising? Okay. I asked this question when I first started to every identifiable part of the value chain. I went to operators and I said, are you making money from mobile advertisement? And they said, yes, we sell SMS. Okay, but SMS is not really, what we're talking about here. It's only part of the puzzle. And I went to agencies. Thank you. And I went to agencies and I asked, are you making money from mobile advertisement? And they said, mobile what? That was the reaction I got. Yes, we heard about some activities going on in Europe from our sister companies, but we don't think that can be supported here. And they were, to a good extent, honest and forthcoming in their answer as a true assessment of what was going on in the region back then. Further on, there were no developers to ask. About 3.5 years ago. People just assumed that things work. Now, what I would like to present to you in this presentation is my perspective on how money has been made in mobile advertising so far, and how there are new business opportunities arising from mobile advertising. And I'll leave a small portion to my sales role to present to you a solution from Boost Communications that helps bring mobile advertising to mass scale. So, moving on. Boost Communications is a convergence company. I deal with operators and I deal with agencies. I deal with media houses, and all of these three together, in my book, constitute a converged business. We facilitate media delivery on mobile. some of our work. We are the developers for Al Jazeera English mobile site, FC Barcelona. Apologies to all Real Madrid fans. Another sample of my work is The Times, which is the largest newspaper in South Africa. 2 months ago, Ian Carrington, head of mobile at Google, made this bold announcement: mobilize or die. Great, makes sense. Before him, his boss had said, mobile, 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 or in American, mobile, mobile, mobile. Yet, if you do take out your smartphone now, your internet-enabled phone, and search on Google, you will notice that there are ads being served by Google Mobile. Click on any one of them, and it's a good chance that you will land on a page that does not look good on mobile. A page that was not built to serve a mobile audience. So how on earth are you going to mobilize or die, yet you are serving an audience that's not mobile ready?
Let's just go back and look at the industry and what was happening over the past 2 decades. So we start looking at everybody saying this is the information or the digital age. When people started using the PCs in the 80s and the Apple II was up and introduced by, again, Steve Jobs, people started using data. So data moved from, typical IT department to personal computers. In the 90s, then we had the usage of the internet. And with that, users started to explode. I remember in the 90s, people would go and buy computers and laptops would not be available. People would buy desktops. So what happened, you will see now when you go buy your own personal computer, no longer there is a desktop. There are laptops more. So it just tells you the shift on information moved really from IT to the desktop, to the laptop, and now on mobile devices. So there has been a tremendous jump with the way consumers are using data and how we as companies are offering solutions. So now we're talking about the end of the information age, and now people are talking about the intelligence age. The intelligence age where companies or organizations are using data smartly. So it's a movement, it's a shift from data being processed in organizations really to just process operational data, now to smart data. And they say it's the intelligence age because smart companies who can utilize and use the data, they have the edge over the competition. So what do you do? How you move from the information age to the intelligence age? So this is the challenge that we are facing today in the post-convergence era. Now what comes after the intelligence age? There are theories, different theories. I mean, that needs a whole session by itself. But we're talking about a major shift, industrial age, then information age. Now we're talking about the intelligence age. And how is that affecting the telco industry or the media industry? We've got now new medium. When you go and try to subscribe, you are asking for your mobile or ADSL line. What is happening is your consumer behavior has changed. No longer you're only making your calls, international calls, or you're making local calls. You're also using your telco provider for other services. So what happened is customers' behaviors has changed. That's the first effect today that we have. With that in mind, then As a telco provider, you have to offer new products. And you have new competitors in the market. So your revenue is going to be affected. It's going to be increasing, or it's going to be decreasing. And I sometimes ask all the telco providers, who are your next competitors? Do you know your competitors that are coming for the next 2 years? It's going to be Google, Apple, maybe Amazon. And the answer is simple. Anybody who's after your revenue is your competitor.